The pay-per-click advertising model is potentially the greatest business model of all time. It changed Google from a company that barely broke even to a company that made hundreds of millions next year and then billions now. And now its market cap is worth trillions. It's all around this PPC model. What does that PPC model tell us about the future business models of the AI companies of the future? I think quite a lot. Because the history of search starts, as you all know, with the kind of the Yahoos and Alta Vistas, and they say, okay, well, we're just going to match search terms to the content copy on the web page. And then Google come along and they say, no, let's do more as the academics do. And just like academic papers look for citations, what we're going to do is look for backlinks to justify the popularity of web pages. And then around the turn of the millennium, there was this other idea that emerged. This idea that said, okay, we can actually use the price someone's willing to pay to also justify what is the relevance and suitability of that content to the search. This was first suggested by a company called OpenText, and they were vilified by the internet community of the time, so they never touched it. It was picked up by a man called Bill Gross, who ran a startup called GoTo. And he gave a TED talk talking about how we could commercialize search and use money to show suitability of the search and improve search results. And he was booed by the TED audience. He did it anyway, and in his first year, he made millions for his business. What he didn't do was he didn't patent that technology. He didn't patent the idea of an online auction. And so Google picked that up, and they run with the PPC model, and the rest is history. I think there's two lessons in this history of the PPC model. The first is an early technology stage, like the early days of the internet and now like the early days of AI, it's dominated by the innovators and early adopters and the people fascinated by that technology, and they're into sort of their data science and they're into their sort of neural networks, and they're incredibly opinionated. That's what makes them innovators and early adopters. But you've got to find a way when building a business to decouple the opinions and the ideology of those individuals, like the guys who booed Bill Gross off stage. You've got to find a way to decouple that ideology from the business model that the actual majority of businesses and people will pay for later on. People are perfectly fine paying for search terms, and that's the business model that dominated. So decouple those two things. The second lesson comes in a final twist to the story, which is, Bill Gross implements his version of PPC, starts making millions, and he says, I know, I'm going to go out and buy Google. We've got the best paid search, they've got the best organic search, let's bring this marriage together. He struck a deal for $200 million for Google, took it to his board, and his board said, no way. No way we're going to buy a business that all it does is adds value to the users searching and gives them great results, but has no idea how to commercialize itself, no business model. And I think the lesson there is saying no to a business that's now worth trillions of dollars, not just hundreds of millions, is that the real successes of the future in AI are those businesses now that are experimenting and playing with how to add value to their users, how to change the life of people out there. And if you nail that, you will find a way to commercialize that in the future, just like Google did.